Jesus Chuy Negrete had a big influence here in New Mexico. First, he was a Chicano activist, an educator, a musician, and a composer, and a mentor, and a friend to some and to all. Through his music and his corridos, Jesus brought tears and laughs to a lot of people in his audience because people could relate to his music. They could relate to the lyrics that he sang because it had to do with farm workers, identity, cultura. Chuy Negrete inspired me and a lot of other people through his music and through his history and through his tears, because with those tears and his laughs, he made us think about where we came from, our culture, what we had to do in the Chicano movement to be able to act right now. Now we get attention from run our country, our cities, where pesticides, what the farm workers fought for the rights, the pesticides that were being put on the farms and giving them, sending them to the markets where we were eating those pesticides and not knowing that what we were doing and what we were eating was actually hurting us. Through his word and through his movement and through his voice, it was heard. And at that time, we have to understand we didn't have technology like we have now. It was all by voice, by your voice. Posters. The only way we were able to announce what was going on was by voice and by people getting together in community centers and in the street, and we brought our history and our culture, and we brought our ideas to change the world for the betterment, not for just for the Chicano community, but for all communities that were suffering the same thing as we were suffering as the farm workers and protesters and leaders in our Chicano community saying that, hey, we want the same thing as other people want. We want education. We want identity for our people to identify us, that we are a special breed in our we're special. We're special we're from Aslan. And we have to remember through those songs that Chuy sang and brought to us, that brought us tears and brought us laughter and made us think that we should be proud of our culture. We should be proud of eating beans and tortillas and red chili. To identify who we are and what we have become. And the doors that Chuy Negrete opened for us have been a great experience in my life because he opened so many doors for my Chicano community, not just for my people, but for various people in my community. We learned so much by his songs. We learned that if we do not voice and put our voice out there, we will never be heard. We have to remember that there's a saying, they forgot, they tried to kill us, but they forgot that we were seeds. Continue to be a seed in our community, and that seed is our voice. Our voice continues through the words of Chuy's corridos and his songs and his slideshows, so we can remember our identity, our cultura, and be proud of who we are today. Yeah, through his explanations, through his music, it touched everybody's heart because they could relate to the picking of the betabel, the cucumbers, the cherries in Minnesota, the apples in Washington. Everybody could relate to that because it was the same basic kind of job that the farm workers did. He brought enlightenment to what the farm workers actually did. He brought enlightenment to the people that worked for the farm workers, that made them understand that, hey, they do need adequate taken care of there in the fields when they're working. He sang his songs through his experiences in life, which his experiences were so familiar, and the people had done the same thing what he had gone through. So through his music and his slideshows, music will always be there. You can, when you sing those songs, those words, you can feel them and you can see them. It's not just like seeing them on picture. You have a vivid imitation of imagination in your mind that those are the things that I went through. Those are the paths that I walked through. So he was like an image of themselves, of the work and the songs that he sang, because that's what the troubles were of the farm workers, protesters, union organizers. Not only with my generations and hopefully with future generations, we will remember Jesus Negrete through his songs and his laughter, and an important point that he was trying to get through his music. Si se puede, we can do it, and adelante. Adelante with our voice, because if we do not voice our problems and our troubles, we will never be heard. So with that, I leave you. Adelante, and si se puede.